even work. Won't even pump. Whole goddamn house burned down, man. Whole fucking house. There we go. Might get the lawn. Might put out the lawn. Yeah, I see it. It's sad, man. That's it. It's a fucking joke here, man. It's a fucking joke. Incredible. No one's home. Fire department's next door, don't work. Truck's broken down, can't get water out of it. It's a joke. The whole place is on fire now. Truck will not pump water at all. Totally worthless. Fucking who knows how many animals are in that house. Fucking bullshit here. What is that gonna do?
Yep, you guys passed that already, everything okay?
Yeah, just go, you know, you can, I'm gonna have you.
I got a phone call today and I want to come and explain some things to your board. I've been gonna come here for a long time and I don't get time. Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Let me speak for about 5 minutes briefly here first, and then you can yell at me and beat up me and all the other good stuff that might happen, but I want to explain some things first. I'm Mike McCuellen. I'm a Duxbury Fire Chief. We've got a station here, we've done Duxbury, one in Cloverton. I've been on the department 35 years. When Arna and newdozy came to the Duxbury Fire Department, they were not going to be getting coverage no more from Wisconsin. They didn't want to cross the border. Danbury didn't want to cross, and neither did Dairyland. So they came to us for probably 2 years saying, please consolidate things and let's get together and make a fire department. Well, when that happened, we were going to have an engine and a tanker and a grass rig at Duxbury and protect all of this out here. So everything was going to be stationed at Duxbury. Over the next couple of years, we thought of also to do that. We had Mel Elliott and I'm going to draw a blank here, but we had like 8 guys from here and 8 guys from Cloverton. We said we could protect you guys if we got some volunteers. And I think we got 8 from each area. And we did that for about a year or two, and we said, let's get trucks into these towns so they got water right there. It takes us 20 minutes to get here, and you've got somebody who can pull it out and get going right away, and reinforcements are on the way. Well, over the years, we've had a lot of people pass away and retire and move away and all kinds of things. And right now, we have 0 people in this town. We have 3 in Cloverton, and 2 of them are weekenders, but they're here all the time. They're here, you know, all summer on vacation and every weekend and stuff. They're getting ready to retire. So we'll have 3 there. But we've just lost so many people that have passed away and retired and stuff like that, moved. And right here, we're really hurting. We had a fire here last night. It was a pretty good sized fire. It was a big fire. I've been doing this 35 years. If we would have had 4 people, my estimation, if we would have had 4 people here last night from town to be able to jump in the rigs that we do have here, the only thing that would have burned was that trailer house and what was attached to it. None of these outbuildings, none of this other stuff would ever start on fire, I believe. When I got here, that's when I sized up. But when we got here, Tracy's not supposed to be going into the fire hall, supposedly, but when an emergency like that, he got the truck out and tried to help. I know there's all kinds of rift and all that going on in town. It's unfortunate, we got a little bit of it too, you guys got a lot of it. But he's the only one that could get in there and get that truck out. And when he did, he had people helping, laymen that don't ever work with this equipment. That's what training's for. They couldn't get water out of it. But we also have an engine in here. That big yellow truck is a tanker. It will pump water if you do some things right, that it needs work on the pump part of it. If we would have had 4 guys that were trained in the fire department, they would have known what to do. They would have pulled the tanker out, they would have pulled the engine out and put 2 lines going. They would have put a line on this propane tank, which was our first priority right away. We didn't want that exploding and killing people, because they can go for a long ways. And so we would have gotten somebody on that tank right away. We would have got the other 2 people back in the grass, putting that out so it couldn't spread out to all the stuff it did. By not having trained personnel here right away, by the time we got here, we were overwhelmed. It was all over in the grass. We only had, well, we had 6 people, 3 people suited up and 3 other ones that were civilian type ones that had been on the fire department over the years, helping before Sandstone got here. And it was a total mess and a wreck. Once we got here and Sandstone out here, things started going smoother, but there was a lot of stuff to do. And that's what happened last night. And that's why we're short right now. When we started this, we needed people, and we don't have them no more. And that's the killer. So you guys, if you want to yell at us how the fire went last night, I'll try and explain it the best I can. I kind of summarize it right now on what's going on, but I can take all the abuse and whatever in the world, because I've been doing it a long time, and we really try. This is Zach, he's on the department over at Duxbury, and we've been out since, last night we were out for 7 hours, and we've been out since 11, we've been doing stuff with the fire stuff since 11:30 this morning. What's it, 6:30 almost now? We don't get paid nothing. Here's all we are, we're this. We raise our hands. We do this for free, because we care about the people. And the same with the medical end. We do this for free. I go on 90 calls some years, on medical calls. We don't get paid for it, we do it for free, because we care about everybody. So volunteerism is huge, and that's what, you know, we've got some people that have stepped up, we don't have enough out this way. And we've got people out here, I know the people, Derek was with us a little bit, but he's got kids and stuff. We understand how hard it is. We got a lot of elderly. We got some of the Cabos around and stuff. It ticks me off when these young Cabos didn't join in, but you guys are neighbors with them. I don't see these guys that much, but you got some of the young Cabos, I don't mean to name names, and you got like Fernangos, there's different ones around the area, but you guys gotta start talking to it, try and convince them that we need people. They're protecting you guys, they're protecting your neighbors, they're protecting their friends. That's what we need. So, bring it on, please.
Yeah.
I can take it all.
Okay, why Tracy can't be on the fire department?
Well, Tracy kinda is on the fire department, but I've gotten a call in the past from this room saying they don't want Tracy in that building.
Well, if a place is burning down and that's the only choice.
I know it, it's a touchy thing. That's why he's going over there to still get in that truck. We're trying to be careful.
It's a conflict of interest.
What is that?
Well, they're telling you not to let them on, and you're telling me you have no help. I mean, now what are we gonna do?
I know.
Burn, baby, burn?
See, this room has gotta make these decisions.
I was there from the beginning and almost until midnight.
Yep.
I mean, I watched that fire, and I watched, I was with Tracy, brought him to the building, picked him up, and made sure he got down there.
Yep.
He got that truck out, and that truck was nothing but an epic failure for pump.
I can tell you what, that
There was
really pumps
nothing.
water when it works right.
I got the videos of it, and I mean, that thing was, I I could shoot a better stream at my age, you know, than that pumper was doing.
If you stood in the middle of the street here, and I took the 2.5 inch out.
But
and
I'm just
pumped out
saying
that
now.
water, that could knock you off your feet with the water.
Now,
I know.
well, how's that gonna help us today, sir?
It's not helping, we need help out here, and I'm asking.
But I'm
for it.
telling you, the truck failed epically. I'm right there on the pump, they're
Should
trying
run
to
the
work
engine
it.
out. The engine is what you put fires on.
There was all kinds of residents here pulling out
I
hoses,
see that.
running
That was
hoses.
wonderful. We appreciate
I was
that.
burnt up, breaking the fires, trying to keep them from spreading myself until it got so hot I couldn't stand it back
I
there.
saw, we had.
I
lots of
went up and
around
took
here.
my Yukon up to the trailer in front, snatched that damn thing and pulled it out to the street.
Yep.
I sat there and just watched in dismay. You showed up 5 minutes before Sandstone did.
Yep.
I mean, the place was fully engulfed, and you guys, you know, you do this for free, and I commemorate you for it, you know? I'm not gonna beat you guys up, but I'm just telling you, them trucks down there are not ready for any operation, period.
Well, why don't you volunteer?
Well, you know what? I don't need you to ask me to volunteer. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
We do need people.
But you got an obligation now, Lynn, to take care of these broken trucks with this guy right here and make sure this stuff is working properly.
Get the pump.
There is no maintenance on it. Is there a maintenance record on that pumper, by the way?
Yes.
Is there any sort of
Yeah.
maintenance upkeep?
I'll tell you what's wrong. Somewhere along the way, a valve is stuck. And we can't open that valve or close that valve.
Well, how is that helping us?
That valve is for filling the truck.
It's broke.
For filling the truck.
So he's not supposed
We need
to-
somebody to get that torched off and the plate welded on that stuff, so we do not lose any draft. Because when we're pumping, going to pump water, we're losing water coming out that thing instead of it being shut off all the way.
So you say Tracy was trying to pump water out when he wasn't supposed to?
We can do it, and I don't know what happened last night on lines. I'm not sure if all the right levers got pulled or if wrong levers got pulled. There's about 4 levers in there. If you don't pull everything correctly, and Tracy's done it before and pulled it correctly, last night, I don't know if it was not pulled correctly or what.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it went, but if you would have taken the engine out, that's got 500 gallons of water. You could do a lot of damage with 500 gallons of water before we got here on that fire.
I tried to help the best I could, but.
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
And that's all I can do.
And we appreciate
There was
that.
people here, there was people here that were trying to, I think if we got that pumper,
Absolutely.
if that thing was shooting water out of the 3 lines right
Yep,
there,
yep.
we could have stopped it from running backwards.
Absolutely.
We could have stopped it. It was, when we pulled up, it was right there on that porch.
Yep, absolutely.
And by the time you got here, it was all the way over into that pole barn over on the far side, 45 minutes.
I think we could have stopped it from the lead
Blower works pretty good for that too.
But I'm just saying, man,
Help us.
Well,
Help us.
I think you guys should let Tracy help. Tracy
Well,
saved my
yeah, it's
place
a no-brainer,
twice
he knows
now.
what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got more medical training than I
Yes,
do.
he does, and he's good in that too.
I worked in the field with Tracy on many calls, and we've had probably 5 or 6 helicopters fly in for different people to take them out, and Tracy's done a superb job medical-wise. When he worked at the casino, he was treating,
Who told you not to let him run? I mean, that's just dumb. I mean, he's the only guy in town that knows how to run anything, so whoever told you that's
well,
just
supposedly
stupid.
that come out of this room, out of this. and-
Well, it's just dumb.
it's that board right there. It's not from us.
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna point a finger.
The residents
I'm not gonna
ain't
name
telling
names.
you this.
I'm just saying it come out of this room, and that's what's been said. Now Tracy, when there's an emergency, has been helping.
So he needs to.
He needs to be active. And he's shy about being active because,
If he's not on the fire department, I mean,
Well,
I
he
get it,
is.
but he doesn't really know.
well, he is on the fire department, but
Does he go to the
Wait a
meetings?
minute, I can't hear what's going on here. There's-
he asked if Tracy was on the fire department. And I said, yes, he's went through firefighter 1 and 2, and up to Grand Rapids for a week on wildland fires. And he went to school to be an EMT to pass that, as far as knowledge beyond the fire department. And he moved away, and he came back, and I know Tracy's not perfect. Nobody is, but I think Tracy does try pretty hard. I know not everybody gets along, and we've got the same problems in Wilma Township, I'm on the board there. But he's the only one we kinda got here, and if we can get him to working on these trucks and fixing it, it'd be wonderful. Cause he is mechanical, he could do some of this stuff, but I think he's shy of doing it.
He needs to be recertified then?
He don't have to be recertified,
How about
his medical.
His medical.
His medical, he's got-
EMT, that would have
Yeah,
to be
he,
recertified.
his EMT, he'd have to go back to school for 120 hours, I don't think he's gonna do that.
So is there a conflict of personalities with people working or something, or do you have any idea what went
You know,
on?
fire department wise or in town? The conflict of interest is with all the stuff that's going on in your town, and I know it's a big mess, I'm not gonna, I don't know all the facts and all this stuff, but I know it's a mess. And he's kind of been in the middle of some of this stuff, but when it comes to the fire department and helping people,
Well, now, are
Tracy
you,
will raise his hand.
are you in Duxbury, are you kind of the coordinator for your?
I'm the chief, and when we had, Drake was here still, and Mishler was at Cloverton, my assistant chief here was Drake, and my assistant chief at Cloverton was Drake, our Mishler. And now both them guys are gone, I really don't have people to fill these slots.
So you more or less keep the men coordinated?
Yep, and I come by here at least once a month and start the trucks and make sure stuff happens a little bit, but and plus all the other training we've gotta do, and
So
meetings I go
would it
to and
help
good
if
stuff.
we had a coordinator here for that? If we
Well,
could
the
find
assistant
someone?
chief would be the coordinator.
So you
Make
need an
Trixie
assistant.
We need
Tracy
somebody
should
to
be that
volunteer
person.
to be on the
Yeah.
fire department and to.
And he's gonna need help. He can't do it alone either. He's gotta have other hands here helping him.
We'll figure it out.
And it don't always come down to, and people think, oh, fire department, I'm running into burning buildings and all this stuff. That's 10% of it. We need a couple guys that can do that kind of stuff, but we need all these people that pull hoses, direct traffic, drive trucks, get us stuff when we need it. That's as important as the guys that are dressed up to go into buildings.
Some of the people they drug in the car.
So the assistant chief would
He
work directly with you?
Right, and when a fire happens, the assistant chief tells people what to do here, because it's kind of his crew. And when we come in, you know, I go right to the assistant chief and say, what can we do, what's going on? How do we handle, what have you seen in your size up, it's called? And we walk around and stuff and look to see what's going on. A lot of times they'll pass it off to me, but if they've got a good handle on stuff, I'll just start working, you know, I'll go inside and do
And are
inside
they
work
the
and
ones
stuff.
that would handle, if there is a conflict in personality, would they be the ones that would handle that conflict?
Yes, because the fire department's an independent thing. We're an independent 401c corporation, because we've had trouble at Wilmot too with some people. And they are not our bosses. They hire us, I don't want to say this wrong, you guys are not our bosses. You're paying us to work for you, because we're under contract with you guys. And we do the best, and the contract is, we do the best we can with what we've got, and that's what we're doing right now. I did make a mistake last night, I will admit that right away. I should have got in Danbury and Dairyland too. It wouldn't have saved any more buildings, but it would have kept us, we would have gotten out of here an hour or two earlier.
They will cross over?
They will cross over from mutual aid and help us.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, I've had them on the Cavo's big fire, I had both Danbury and
Does that
Dairyland.
request have to come from?
I have to request that.
Well, cause Bob and Dana up the hillside are, they're first responders
Yep.
and they're all they keep all their gear with them.
Yep,
And
Yep.
we just had a fire up there right behind Fernando that happened like a week and a half.
you know, and these guys, if we got guys just across the border, they can join, they can be here, they're part of this, they're part of this community, they know all these people. They wanna help you people.
I got the videos,
Yep,
the early videos, and then the follow-up videos down there, the best I could. It shows that truck failed, it shows untrained personnel there, guess what you're saying?
absolutely.
But I'll tell you what, this community jumped together there.
They do,
They're just-
it's
I'm just-
wonderful.
you gotta let me speak.
Yep,
The manpower was there,
yep,
but the training, the knowledge of that truck,
yep,
or the workmanship or the functionality of that truck failed. They all failed.
the wrong truck came out of the.
They all failed. I don't know. Hey, I'm not the guy that's pulling the trucks
Yep.
out here now.
I know.
I'm just saying. I'm pointing out what.
Yep.
You need to let me clarify what I'm saying.
Hey, you're-
I let Tracy off. He went in that building. I asked him, "Is there anything you need me to do?" He says, "No. Go get the people out of that house. Go get the dogs."
Absolutely, that's the right call.
Me and David went over there, but he pulled that truck out and pulled the hoses out. And as soon as we were done, we were pulling the hose out, stretching them where they need to be. That truck did not work. That's all I can tell you. I got the videos. I will share them with you.
We've had.
I'll share them with you. You
I
can see
get
where
it.
you went wrong.
I get it, I don't know what handles were pulled in.
I just wanted to show you where you
Doing
went
this
wrong.
stuff in the heat of the moment,
Your truck.
there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, we're worried about our personnel. The way the fire departments, the way we're trained in EMTs and cops, everybody, protect yourself first. We don't always do that, we watch out for our partners and the public and stuff before we even out for ourselves a lot of times. Just because we get that mental thing in our head, we're out to help people. But I know you guys were stepping in and helping, but you're not trained on that stuff. If you were trained on stuff, like I said, if there was 4 people here last night, both of them would have come out, you would have had water the first 5 minutes, And it would've been really good until we got
Tracy
here.
said that reserve tank was low, that one you're filling up today or something?
We used 23,000 gallons of water last night.
No, I ain't saying that now, but, I mean, just, so Tracy doesn't know the operations of them trucks, is that what you're saying?
Not, he's not up to date right now because he hasn't been trained.
No, does he know how to run the pump truck is my question.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The pump truck failed.
The pump truck never left the building.
Oh, so there's the other truck, that other newer one that's
Yes,
in there.
that's a pumper.
Okay. Then he was doing it wrong and he doesn't know how to do it, cause you can't have it both ways, cause he was laying out hoses and hooked up to that.
Well, he was the only one here and he wanted more water.
He wasn't the only one here.
Well,
He could have moved that other truck in place if he had to. I guess I can't sit here and say what shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yep. Either
All
can
I know is it was a complete failure last night here. On all levels.
Lack of personnel, lack of
On all
manpower.
levels, on all
And it's
levels.
not just manpower, it's trained manpower.
Right,
There's a big difference between taking 20 guys and saying, hey, come help,
Right.
than the 4 guys that know exactly what they're doing. Because them 4 guys can say, hey, you 3 come with me, and they can all do that and we can get stuff done. But we need trained personnel that know what's going
How
on.
often do you?
And working equipment.
Once a month. And working equipment.
The stuff's gotta work and who takes records of the maintenance on these vehicles that you use and store down here and store down there? There should be a maintenance record of something not working.
There's maintenance records from the past and stuff like that. This isn't a big corporation. We're a bunch of.
Well, something don't work, you should write it down.
Absolutely.
That
And Tracy
work.
knows this isn't working properly all the time.
I'm just saying, you should change your procedures, and if something ain't working on these trucks, I mean, you gotta come to us for money, come to them for money, or where do you guys get our money to
It's
fix
not about
stuff?
the money.
Well, we gotta get stuff fixed.
We do gotta get stuff fixed. It's
Well, when's that gonna
it is
happen?
very expensive.
That should be what we're talking about now, I mean,
Yep.
that truck failed.
I think Tracy can fix this. I think Derek could fix this if they have the time to do it. That's the biggest thing. And time is a huge
20
thing.
yards away,
I know.
the house will tell you differently of what, you know, the pump truck 20 yards away failed. I mean, that is
Well, like
And
I
that's-
said, the pump truck never left the building, the wrong truck came out of the building, so nothing technically failed because it never left the building.
Yeah.
well, but the tanker can pump. So, but the tanker didn't pump.
Tanker's not made to be a pump,
Okay,
but it will pump.
Doesn't sound like it
But
even
not
had to
all,
leave
it
the building.
isn't working. If it gets tweaked, it can pump better than it does.
Did the truck even have to leave the building to pump?
We gotta hook
Oh,
hoses
yeah,
to
you
it.
gotta hook hoses, you gotta get space.
I seen both of them.
Exhaust and everything to kill people in there, you gotta pull everything out.
Okay,
Go ahead.
if you're gonna, if Tracy's gonna take over, then I'd like to see you go over and train him again.
Okay,
And I'm sure he can get other people.
we gotta make sure Tracy's wanna raise his hand with all the
Well,
conflict
fine.
that's been here too.
Oh, I'm sure he
If
will.
it can be approved, we'll find you an assistant chief first.
That would be
And
wonderful.
then we'll go from there as far as who's gonna get trained and when they're going to be trained.
That would be wonderful.
With whatever your schedule is
Sure.
for training.
Yep, usually
Is
it's
that
once a
right?
month we have
Is
training.
that okay with the board? That
Yeah,
we
first we
find
gotta
ourselves
find
an
somebody
assistant
that'll-
chief
People,
first?
we need this,
Just
we need a bunch, we
people.
need a bunch of this right
That's
here.
it,
Yeah,
I mean,
and then
it doesn't really matter what comes
Yeah,
first.
Yeah.
First
People
is,
need to come.
first
That's-
people.
If we have an assistant chief, you'll train the assistant chief on what he
Yes,
needs to do.
and if it's
how-
training, if it's Tracy, he's already been trained on a lot of this stuff, but he's gotta get in here with both hands now. Now he's going in there with one finger, kinda, cause he's,
Okay,
You need,
okay,
you know, kind of review what these,
yep,
review things.
but the person should be able to take care of all the records and everything that
yep,
Todd seems to be
yes.
mentioning back here.
I get Todd, if you go to Pine City or Minneapolis and all this kind of stuff,
Oh, yeah.
they keep records every day of, okay, we checked the oil today, there's a date, you know, the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, we checked oil the first, the second, they do all this every day, they get paid, they're there for 24-hour shifts, and they check all the trucks and maintain things and write everything down. We're leaving our jobs and our kids and our free time.
well, it's kinda like going to a fire and running out of gas in your fire truck.
We've done that.
If
We've done that.
somebody's not paying attention,
And everybody-
obviously, to what's
and I'll
going
tell you
on
what.
with mechanics.
It's not just us.
The functionality of that stuff is not up to par, man.
I've been at fires out, almost this far out, where Hinckley responded and Sandstone responded, and they got all the way here, only to find out their tanker was empty. I was at a fire with Hinckley on 48 out towards Cloverdale. They came up to the thing, nobody on the truck knew how to get water out of the truck. They had to wait for the next truck to come in. And them are bigger departments. Them guys are paid a little bit, and them are bigger departments. All these guys are volunteering, and training is so huge.
All our government is.
Should just call an insurance company, why call the fire department, right?
Well, because we try
What's
to
the big
help.
deal, they're never gonna make it, I mean, honestly.
Todd,
Oh, no, we need the fire department with my house could have.
No, I know, I'm just being a character here, but I mean, this is ridiculous here.
No, it's not.
The trucks failed, the people failed, I don't know, they're saying you didn't know how to operate it now. But I don't know, it's not a good situation, it's not a good situation.
It's not. And I agree 100%.
And the only thing I'm asking is,
Eric already agreed he'd talk to you later about it.
Okay.
and I just wanna ask one question, what
Yes.
is the resolution to this type of a problem, so it doesn't happen again with maintenance on these trucks, to make sure that they are working before the next fire?
The engine that should have been pulled out does work. It works just fine.
Well, we need, the pump or whatever. Is that pump gonna work or is it not gonna work the next,
On
how
the
is it gonna
tanker,
work?
the tanker's there to drop water. We take the tanker
Okay.
and drop water and fill the.
But we
engine.
need the other truck to
engine
pump
never
it.
came
I
out
got
last
that. But now, you see where the problem.
That's enough.
No,
We need to find the problem,
He
what
knows
happened.
what the
Now,
problem
if we
is.
need,
So you don't have to keep.
I look
repeating
at stuff, I've been doing this all
That's
day.
enough. He's done it.
Well, we need to figure out how to fix it.
I've been doing this all
You're not
day.
the one to figure it out.
No, I know,
Your
you
fire
guys ain't
department-
either, obviously.
No, I said that, no, it's not our board either, it's the fire
It's
department.
the people.
It's a contract.
Let Mike give the final
It's up to the-
synopsis so he can go home and get some rest.
It's up to the people. It's up to you guys. And I don't point fingers, I don't mean nothing negative about anybody.
Yeah.
It's everybody in this room's fault for not talking to the neighbors into joining this fire department.
Well, Tracy don't wanna probably be a firefighter because these guys are too busy running them into court.
Well, it is what it is.
That's what they
There
do.
are different things. When we're trained to do this kind of stuff, I put up with this crap at Duxbury too. We've got all kinds of problems over there. I've got somebody, as soon as I can get a free civil rights lawyer up here from the cities to do this, I'm gonna sue you, Mike, and the fire department. I deal with this kind of crap all the time.
I get it.
But I still do it. And
Yeah.
Terry, or Tracy can conflict with everybody in this room, but when it comes to going saving people and doing things, he's gonna do it.
And he's
I don't have a problem with Tracy.
I'm just saying, he's not, none of us are perfect, but he is trained to do this, and when you're trained to do this, this comes first.
We tried our best to help them though,
I
we
agree,
honestly
You know,
did.
that's why having a relationship with the community would help. Because stuff like this,
They don't have a
because you
relationship.
guys sit there and wanna drag him into court for every other thing, and he could've helped save that place last night.
Mike,
It is your responsibility. I don't want my cabin burning down.
Okay, let's hang on.
Right.
I don't mean to,
I believe you said your words here that you wanna say, and Derek is.
and we
going to talk to you
apologize,
later
we
about
apologize,
this.
I wish things could've gone better last night, we busted our butts. We-
Thanks for
Whoever
stepping
told me
up.
that Tracy shouldn't touch it is, that they ought to be just run out of this room.
Anyway.
Ridiculous.
It's just part of what's been going on with the fight, so, the fight is after I leave this room.
That's why it might be good to get along with people.
Yep, and
But we appreciate you guys and
Thank
what you
you.
did, man,
We
we
tried.
really do,
We
we
tried
really
our
do,
very,
we're not
very
here to
best.
bang on you or
Thanks, Mike.
I'm
harper
not,
you.
I'm not picking on you, and you're not the one that said this either.
But Mike, we don't
It
have
just- it
a
happened.
good relationship with these guys up here.
I know it.
We
It's-
really don't, and you
We have the
hit
same,
it off.
I'm on the board over there, and I was out canvassing for votes, I might be off the board by tomorrow. They're trying to get me off, a real small handful of troublemakers trying to get me off.
Well, that's
And
politics.
I was out doing that, knocking on doors yesterday, that's why we didn't beat Sandstone by a lot, I had to come from over Tamarack Lake all the way to the fire hall, because I was over there talking to people about the politics there.
Politics
The
stinks.
department owns the truck, right?
Yes, the department, that truck we don't. That big green one's a DNR truck on.
The one with the broken valves.
Loan from us, yes, it's on loan from the DNR. So we don't wanna put 10 grand into a truck that's on loan from the DNR, it's not a 10 grand
Okay, I mean,
truck.
we've known that valve's been stuck for a year almost.
I know it, absolutely right, you're absolutely right. But
We got a problem.
that truck is more for water, we need water
Okay,
out
so
there.
because it's on loan and the department doesn't wanna spend the money to fix it.
Well, we could, and we can, it's not a huge thing, but we just haven't found anybody that would do it.
Shouldn't we do that, the township, the board, shouldn't these guys
You
get
know,
it fixed?
we charge a reasonable rate. When Danbury, I think Danbury covered you guys, I think, Dairyland covered up north. When this happened, it had been raised to $5,000 and they wanted out of this, the whole thing. We started doing it for $3,500 back then. It's only up to 4,500 now, because I started a retirement when we had the big blowdown, and the fire department was here for 11 days, and we cut people out of roads and fed people, and the community helped on all this too, but us with the Red Cross and everything organized all this. We were feeding 80 people a day here for 11 days. And that was all fire department. When we did that stuff, we got some help from FEMA. And I started a retirement up we've never had any money ever for the people. Now, right now, we started a retirement up because we got some money out of FEMA, and each firefighter that qualifies, that does, goes to most of the training and.
We'd have money too if we didn't spend $80,000 dragging people in the
But
car.
anyway, there is $500 that go into their fund for them every year. And like Drake just got like $6,000 when he retired. I mean, there's something now, so there's a little incentive that we tried to do. So, go ahead one more time.
Shouldn't all the townships pitch in for the repairs to the equipment that we use? We should all own up to
Well, let's
it.
just let these guys vote on it.
All
so they can
own
stop.
up to it, all the counties, all the townships.
Our responsibility is taking for this
I don't
equipment.
want my place burning down.
I know, and that's it. Exactly.
And whoever said that they don't want Tracy on there, I mean, you should be fighting them back, telling them we don't have a choice.
I didn't say it was somebody in the crowd, I didn't say it was somebody in the.
It's somebody on that board, it ain't
You
the
didn't
crowd.
say that. Mike did
You're-
not say that.
Everybody's
Okay.
making guesses right now.
No,
But
we know
anyway,
who it is. We know who it is.
Everybody can assume whatever they want, but it is what it is, okay? And I apologize, and I hope we can do a better job the next time, but it would be really nice to get some volunteers. That's the key word.
We'll work on it, Mike.
Let's get that valve fixed though, can we ask these guys for money? We already owe
It isn't about money, it's
28,000.
about time.
We're about 28 in the hole already, might as well fix
We've
that
got
too.
We've got money in the bank to do this stuff, but we
Okay.
just don't have time to.
Okay.
Or the people.
Well, what do you mean, we got houses burning down and you ain't got time?
We can take this tanker out
That's
here.
not what we want to hear.
We can
That
take
is
this
not
tank, we can take
acceptable.
this tanker out of here right now and bring it to Ascove and have it fixed for a
Well,
week.
let's get it done.
That's what we want done. We don't want the broken equipment here.
It's gonna cost us more than you guys pay for a year for coverage even. And it's not a critical valve. We've got the other engine to do the fighting.
We lost the house and we almost lost
It's
the
a
whole
no-brainer.
back.
Just get it done.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, Mike.
okay. Thank you, and I apologize again. We do try very hard. Okay?
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Appreciate
And
it.
the
Thank
same
you
with the
guys.
medical. We don't have a lot of fires, a lot of medical, and then we're saving lives. This is, I don't wanna say it wrong, but this is wood. People's lives are really important to us also.
Well, they're animals lost.
Mike,
I understand that.
we're gonna talk more between ourselves as a community,
Thank you.
and we're gonna get back to you on this too.
I wanna thank the board, and everybody else in the room, okay? Okay. Thanks, guys.
We're trying to reach out and get some help for us.
That's what we need.
We'll help you.
Okay, all in favor of 3,000 for the zoning fund, please say aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, ARPA, they give us money, we don't budget that. So that's all been spent out and dispersed into other funds.
So the whole.
Fire fund, the
The
next
whole
fund is
ARPA
the fire fund.
The whole ARPA fund is exhausted.
Yeah, there's zero left in there.
Why are you talking about it then?
No, ending balance, because it's on the thing, but it's not,
Ah.
this is last year's budget, it's on there. This is the proposed new one, it's
Alright.
not on there.
Alright.
Yeah, there's just a little bit, like 1,800.
It's not a normal thing, we got it, I don't remember ever in the history of the township getting ARPA money other than last year.
No,
Have we ever?
it was
Let's
just.
ask you what's left.
It was.
Yeah, there's
out,
1,000,
man.
excuse me,
It's about
I made a mistake.
1,800
You
left.
freaked out.
I made a mistake, by golly, it's $1,891 in there.
And ARPA was because of COVID. They allowed the townships.
Well,
so
that
much
goes
money
to
because
Dave
of
to buy a
COVID.
card. Yeah. Yeah, I need that. Yeah, you
They
guys
call
sold
it
the
kung
car.
fu.
I'll take a
Anyway,
check.
so it's off the table, we don't need to do anything with it, the money will be spent by the board as they see fit.
Oh, thanks.
We know
I
that.
appreciate it.
So, you're welcome. That leaves the fire fund, which is, I know that the annual contract is $4,500, am I correct? With
Yes.
Duxbury Fire Department?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna need every year 4,500, and I don't know there's much spent on anything else. We don't do anything, they take care of the truck that's down here, don't they?
They don't take care of no trucks.
They did a great job this last
Our
fire.
shit runs like shit.
You said yourself that pump truck was broke for a year.
Yes,
Okay, how is it doing for down there now, man?
We
Well,
have nothing
go
to
talk
do
How
to
did it work 20 yards away
We
from the
have
fire?
nothing to do with with that. You got.
But
go
we're
to
still
it.
wondering how that fund's working for us.
No, I don't know.
We sent it to Duxbury.
We pay out, we got broken equipment,
Go to
faulty,
Duxbury. Go to Duxbury.
faulty equipment,
Then
I
go to
believe Mike,
Duxbury.
hold on. I
faulty
believe Mike-
equipment,
Mike
20
needs
yards
to
from
be-
the fire.
Whoa, just a minute, please. You're welcome.
Okay, Art, you want to.
Mike came to the meeting and explained
So,
that the
we
wrong
have,
truck
as Mike
came out.
McCullen, let
He
me
can explain
Mike.
all he wants.
The wrong truck came out.
He
The
said
pump truck
himself
never
the
left.
pump truck
I'd
was
like
broke
to get
for a
on the
year.
budget. I mean, thank
Broke.
you.
The
He said
valve
broke.
on the tanker is
We
broke.
have nothing.
Broke.
Then
On the
go to-
tanker.
Broke.
Please, excuse me, I am the moderator, I have the floor, I'm gonna use it. So we've got two things going on. One, I agree actually with what you're saying, Todd, but this is not the meeting for that. We don't
Okay,
own the
well.
truck. We let them park it in our garage. You should be going to a fire department meeting. We used
I
to
went to
have-
a
we-
fire
let me
and
finish,
watched
please.
an epic
Let me-
failure. How about that?
As Mike McCullen explained
How
last
about
night,
that?
we used to have a so-called fire chief for each township. There's Duxbury, Cloverton, and Markville, and each town had a representative on the fire board, and Dave Drake was the representative for our
You
township.
think I feel safe or comfortable with that?
Don McCarthy was a
Then go to-
representative
No,
of
honestly.
Cloverton, and you're
I don't
disruptive.
We're paying $4,500
Let me
for
talk
something
and
that
let
ain't
me
out for
finish.
us nothing.
You're out of order. Zip your lip.
This money helps us none.
That's not out of
It
order.
showed,
It has nothing to do with
proved,
nothing.
we were
Hush
proven,
up.
Whoa.
Hush
we were
up.
showed this last night,
Shut
though,
your lip.
yesterday.
That's it, give them a warning.
A
So
what?
anyway, as I'm
warning.
explaining,
I need a warning.
the
You should have
Dave
went to
Drake
that
has
fire.
moved away from the township, so we don't have a representative from the township on the fire board.
Mike
So what you're
McCullen.
saying
But
is we need
regardless of
volunteer
that, as
firemen.
good as your issue is, we have nothing to do with it.
I'd
It's
suggest
not
just
on
raise
the
your
agenda for
insurance.
this
Just-
meeting.
just
get
Therefore,
good insurance.
you need to
You guys-
This shit's
go.
burning to the ground.
Going over to Duxbury is on the
Who
website.
approves the
of when
funding
they
for them
meet.
to do the firefighting? Who approves the funding for them to do that?
They do.
Who?
Duxbury Fire Department.
No, who does?
Mike
we-
McCullen and the,
Who,
I don't know
who
who's on
from
there.
here funds them that money?
We
Who-
get a bill once a year to join and belong for $4,500, that's all we do, we'll pay them.
Here's what I'm asking. So the supervisors dictate that money to go over there, correct?
No, the annual meeting does.
We take a contract,
We
if
as a
we got a
town
contract
are
from
doing that.
Dairyland.
As a town, we're letting them spend that money for firefighters.
I'd suggest
Right, but
this
so-
get real good
So we
insurance.
approve that, the people approve that, or who
Yeah,
approves that?
we approve
Because
it.
here's the deal, guys. You
Your
guys
house
weren't
is
there,
burning
and I
to the
wasn't there
ground.
either, But these guys were pulling animals out of a burning house.
Burning.
And the pump failed, and you know what, we're spending.
Broke. Truck was
It's not for
broke.
this meeting, I need to
Broke
move on.
in.
So we have,
Broken truck.
for the fire fund, order, I could ask the deputies to please keep, if you could get these people to hush up.
They're not here to referee, Bob.
Tell them to stop and then trespass them, and we will trespass them for you.
Sign.
I'm in motion that we're being disruptive to this meeting.
Do you have any trespass?
This is
Listen,
an open meeting.
we're supposed to be able to talk right now.
No, the moderator lets you talk. I ask for a talk when we need talk, and otherwise you're not talking. So
Well, then we're
anyway,
gonna- then we'll
we
talk
have a
here in a
request from the town board for $5,000 for the fire fund, of which $4,500 would go to the contract for the Duxbury Fire Department. Does anybody offer an amount for the fire fund?
Zero.
Do I have a second?
Then.
Zero.
Motion for the 5,000.
Do I have a second?
I'll take my chances with buying better insurance.
No, fine, go
Your
ahead.
shit's burning to the ground here.
Tammy Hodgman seconded Dave Reuter's motion. So, further discussion, we have $5,000 for the fire fund. Any discussion?
I just wanna take the time to say that we can complain about the fire trucks not working all we want, but if we don't have any volunteers to actually work on
Hey
these fire
Derek, there
trucks,
was
it
volunteers
doesn't do any
here,
good.
man.
Right.
Oh, you have to volunteer.
You gotta have
There's people there's residents all over the place.
You gotta have training.
Pulling hoses out. Derek, where were
Please do
you?
not discuss the
Where'd you
How's
come
that
up?
work?
5
How's that
hours
work?
after the fire?
How's that work? Sorry.
5 hours after the fire.
I was at work, what do you want me to do?
What's that?
I don't
I'm
know.
not on the fire department.
We're trying to
I'm not
protect the
trained.
broken goddamn truck we put money for.
Not trained.
I don't have faith in you or that Duxbury Fire Department. Zero.
That's fine. Go
I watched what happened last night, all yesterday. All yesterday.
Then go to the bike and volunteer and learn how to be on the
Well,
fire.
why don't you make sure some of these trucks at least work?
We have nothing to do with the truck.
You give them the money, can't you ask them to maintenance the trucks?
It's their responsibility.
Bob said at the meeting that pump truck was broke for a year. It's on my goddamn videos.
And Bob was mistaken.
It's broke for a year. Bob was,
wow.
oh yeah, Bob's mistaken. The only time Bob says anything, he's mistaken now.
Did you have any phone?
This is some bullshit.
Probably up here. I don't know where they put them.
That needs to be discussed right there, honestly.
It can be discussed.
20 yards away.
Meeting
The trucks are 20 yards from a fire.
I was on a volunteer fire department.
That truck
A
failed.
long time ago.
Truck failed.
And truck failed.
He said it was broken for a year.
So who cares? I'll tell you
Maybe
right now.
the goddamn people down the street
No.
are house that's burnt down.
No.
Obviously you
No.
go up at the other end.
No.
If you guys want,
No.
you guys
This
want
is
to
wrong.
trespass, because you can say as a voice, if you want trespass, go trespass, okay?
Okay, sure.
You guys gotta-
No, this is wrong.
You guys have
This
to
is
not
okay.
listen to us.
Y'all want to just trespass us
Excuse
now.
me, as the duly elected moderator of this meeting, I hereby declare Todd and Bernie are exhibiting disruptive behavior to the conduct of this meeting, and under the township no trespassing policy, they should be evicted from this building.
Todd and Bernie, please leave.
What did I say?
No. Listen, we were failed yesterday. Were you guys at the fire?
I'm gonna ask you one more time, please leave.
No, I'm gonna ask you, hey man, now listen, we want to sit here and talk about our
I'm
failure
now
of fire
ordering you
company.
guys to leave, and I'm gonna give you a citation for trespass. If you refuse,
Hey,
I'm
dude,
gonna
you ain't gotta
arrest you.
posture us like this and stuff. You really don't have to sit here and play like
Let's
this.
go. Come on, Bernie, you gotta go. Come on.
What did I do?
I've asked you twice.
What did I do?